I'm going to show you another exercise that I think would be great for you to help develop the feel of this complex contact of torquing that we're after, this push and turn. Now, first, when we talk about the push, another word that we use is the drive. Now, what I mean by driving the ball and this pushing action is that when I drive, there's a certain directional component to driving. And that is that I'm kind of steering. If we drive a car, we're steering the car. It's powering, but it's also being steered. Swinging does not produce driving. Swinging, if you look at a swing action, you'll see that the racket is kind of arcing around a lot. Right? And really, to get the racket to drive or to steer, if you can imagine I'm trying to steer something right at you, if I push, I get much better directional steering in that moment. And this is really coming from the large muscle groups. The large muscle groups of the body do the pushing. The small muscle groups, when they get extended, when we get into extended swinging actions, we don't get that driving action. And so, again, it's the large muscle groups that are really responsible for the driving actions. Now remember, what we're after is a push and turn. Push and turn. Right? So a good exercise is just coming against a fence. I've got a soccer ball. You can use any kind of ball that's kind of bouncy and about this size. And what I'm going to do is just press against this. Now this is kind of the drive component, just pushing. Now I'm going to add the turn to it, and so I push and turn. And this is the action that I'm after. Now what I want you to do is just practice this a few times. Do it about 5 times, just gently. And then we're going to add more force to it. What I want to do is you'll notice that as I push and turn and the racket's released, all this pressure that I've built up against the fence is going to cause the ball to spring backwards. So my goal is to make the ball go behind me as much as I can. So the harder I push forward and then turn and then release, the more the ball is going to spring back. So I want you to do 2 things. One is, in trying to make the ball go backwards, is to press harder into the fence. So then as you turn, the ball shoots back. What I want you to do is try and push the elbow out towards the fence. Try to keep pushing forward after the release of the ball. So it looks something like this. And then I actually push out and try and touch the fence. So now I've really kind of pushed from the hip and the shoulder and rotated, and you can feel as that ball starts, there's a lot of speed, a lot of pressure built into this torquing action. Again, torque means pressure in different directions on the same point. So I'm pushing forward and twisting against this ball. So I get this turning forward pressure. All right, so do that about a dozen times. You'll start to build up the right grip action, the right strength and pressure coming in the right areas, learning how all these different components work in this complex way. Again, some turning, some pushing. Again, understanding what does what and getting that kinesthetic feel for that correct contact.